Okay, and we're off. We're back for game 2 of day 2. I'm gonna be so real with you guys. I don't have a roster yet, so I'm gonna fill this time with, like I said this earlier, but I generally tend to assume that anybody who's watching roller derby at home in their free time pretty much probably already knows the rules. But just in case, we like to go ahead and do some explaining, especially since I can't tell you who's playing yet. So you're gonna see both teams are gonna put 5 players on the track at a time. That's 4 blockers and 1 jammer. Oh, we also need the scoreboard switch back on. We don't know what button that is. All right, so I'm going to go back to explaining the rules while we figure out what's going on up here. So each team's going to put 5 players on the track at a time. That's 4 blockers and 1 jammer. The jammer is the one on the star on their head. Jammers are going to start behind the pack, as you see is happening right now. The jammer's job is to get through those blockers as quickly as he can. First jammer breakout is the lead jammer. They have the ability to call off the jam, otherwise it will go for 1 minute if it's allowed to, all the times allowed to elapse. The jammers are going to try to break through, and then they're going to try to get around as quick as possible. When they get back to the pack, they're going to start picking up 1 point for every member of the opposite team that they pass. And the lead jammer has the ability to call off the jam, so their strategy is they're going to try to get as many points as they can while keeping an eye on that other jammer and calling it off before the other jammer gets to get points of their own. And I now have a roster, so we can go back to announcing the game normal. All right, let's see. This is LADD versus TXRD, and that is Alpaca Punch jamming for LA, and Danny Darko, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, we're just getting a little caught up here. Either way, that is Alpaca Punch breaking out, picking up lead for LA. Score right now is 2-2.
All right, so we are right in the middle of this action right now, so we're doing good. We're doing good. It's tournament. It's tournament stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
Really quickly, we're going to run through a roster really fast. For LA, number 39, Bucket, 76, Jezahel, 86, Alpaca Punch, 97, Slam and Amazon, 218, Penetration, 305, Gandalf the Cray, 430, Oblivion, Westwood, 500, Sheezus, 606, She Deviled Egg, 818, Valley Hurl, 925, Sweet Home, Alabama, 2022, Chance the Lapper, 3720, Hannah Barbarian, 9637, Jane Woe.
All right, I will do TXRD in just a second, but for now, that is Valley Hurl jamming for LA and Hello Nurse jamming for TXRD. Hello Nurse breaking out and picking up lead for TXRD. Valley Hurl now also out of the pack and just about 30-ish feet behind.
All right, quick question. Is Hello Nurse going by Hello Nurse today or Hey Hey? Because yesterday was Hey Hey. I know on the roster it says Hello Nurse.
Couldn't tell ya.
This is what happens at tournaments too.
Yes.
Yes.
All I have is the documentation in front of me.
Right.
Yes.
So it's either Hello Nurse or Hey Hey. We're
Yes.
gonna, either one, either or, right?
Yeah.
Until we're told otherwise.
All right, who do we
All
got
right.
here? That is Agrobat jamming for TXRD.
And let's see, that
And-
looks like Penetration. Woohoo for LA.
Looking so photogenic down there.
My goal this bout is to get Penetration's name right because I kept wanting to say penetration yesterday.
Yeah. No, that's you got the pun anyway. Speaking of, Penetration breaks out of the pack, picks up lead for LA. Nice
Looks like
and quick.
Agrobat is towards the back there, got bumped out onto the infield, but is looking to rejoin the pack and get out as jammer. But lead definitely is on Penetration. Ooh, who takes a little tumble there on the track. Track Monster's hungry maybe this morning.
TXRD doing a pretty solid job of at least slowing Penetration down, but ultimately breaking back out and getting that first pass up on the board.
LA's doing a nice job of keeping Agrobat back at the tail end of the pack there, so good job for them on defense. Penetration sliding around, coming through the pack once again.
That's another Cinco de Rinco for Penetration. Woof! And TXRD takes a tumble. Looks like everyone's okay, though. I see smiles. Always a good sign. As Penetration comes back around for their third pass. And there we have it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the TXRD roster real quick. We have number 17, Stevie Kicks. Number 247, Jose Cuervo. Number 462, Nicola Virus. Number 616, Scrapegoat. Number 666, Ms. Mayhem. Number 777, Tony Montana. Number 956, Hello Nurse. Number 1113, Sid Vicious. Number 1312, Whoopsie. Number 4212, Danny Darko. Number 8055, Ambitious. And number 8475, Agrobat.
And away we go. It looks like we've got Sid Vicious for Texas as jammer, who's now lead jammer. And it looks like for LA, we've got number 97, Slammin' Amazon. Vicious is coming around for some points here. Amazon trying to make their way through the pack. Looks like maybe got bumped off on the infield there as rejoining. Sid Vicious decides to call that off.
4 points for TXRD on that last one, bringing the score to 21 LA, 8 TXRD. And looks like we got Agrobat back on the track, jamming for TXRD.
And She Deviled Egg for LA.
Looks like we got one in the box for TXRD. That's an arms penalty for, looks like Jose Cuervo.
All right, looks like both Agrobat and She Deviled Egg went towards the low there. She Deviled Egg come out as lead jammer for LA. Agrobat is working their way, looking to their teammates to kind of pull them through the pack there. Getting a little bit of help as She Deviled Egg is coming around for some points. There's a quick little juke there getting into the pack.
Get a little scrappy here on turn 3. I see lots of people hitting the floor a little bit. This pack does not want to let anybody through a second time. But looks like She Deviled Egg finds it and picks up those points for LA. Agrobat's still stuck behind that 2-wall back there.
Yeah, it looks like that's Jezahel and that Valley Hurl, that little 2-wall. Agrobat is back there as a jam clock comes to a close.
That is Hello Nurse jamming for TXRD. And looks like Hanna-Barbarian jamming for LADD. We got 2 in the box for LA. Or, yes, 2 in the box for LA. Looks like a whole bunch of arms penalties on that last one. Hanna-Barbarian breaking out, picking up lead for LA once more. As Hello Nurse also out of the pack, though. Just about a half lap behind. Four points for LA on that last one, looks like. Bringing the score to 35-8 LADD.
Let's see, looks like we've got 616 Scapegoat for Texas and 86, which is Alpaca Punch. Although there's some discussion here before the whistle, let's see.
Looks like we got a whole bunch of folks in the box. It looks like 2 in the box for TXRD and 1 for LADD. We got a whole bunch of arms again.
I'm so glad you could read that board.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm so glad our whiteboard person out there is writing large enough for me to be able to see. Alpaca Punch breaking out and has the lead for LADD.
Scapegoat's looking to slide past, let's see, 96-37.
That is Jane Woe.
Thank you, Jane Woe. Scapegoat fighting back there. Manages to get by those 2 LA blockers and is out of the pack now.
I gotta say, I really appreciate that LA brings not just the team and the coaches, but they also bring their own turn 4 cheering session. This is very nice.
I know. They're very faithful. They were here all day yesterday.
It's a nice touch. Oh, and it's not even just turn 4. It's also in the stands. It's everywhere.
Oh, yep, there they are, silver pom-poms. So that begs the question, who's here for Texas? All right, there we go. No pom-poms, we got some applause. All right, yay, Texas.
All right, that is Tony Montana jamming for TXRD, and that's Valley Hurl jamming for LADD. Looks like we got 1 in the box for LA.
Looks like Tony Montana got bumped out onto the infield, but I've got a funny little quote from, if you know the movie, Tony Montana, Scarface, "Go Pelican!" For those of you who might know, I've been enjoying Tony Montana's name. One of my favorite movies.
Valley Hurl coming back around, pushing through. We got a little jammer on jammer action in the center of the pack there, but Valley Hurl does manage to break through and make that pass successfully.
Looks like Montana's just doing battle back there with, it looks like Chance the Lapper. They were going head to head with, still stuck in the pack there, unfortunately.
And that's another 5 points on the board for LADD. That felt like a lot. Let's find out how much it was.
All right, now on the
10
line we've
points.
got Penetration for LA and Sid Vicious for Texas.
That was 10 points on the board for LADD on that last one, bringing the score to 54-8 with just under 4 minutes left in this first half. Whole bunch of folks in the box, though. It looks like we got 2 from LA and perhaps 1 from TXRD as well.
Penetration going to the high there, looking to possibly get out of the pack, but it looks like
Sid Vicious
yeah,
breaking
looks
out,
like
picking
Vicious
up
is
lead.
out first.
I think that
Although
might be
we got a little
TXRD's
bit of
first
it-
lead of the game.
yeah, jammer race too. Look at
Yeah.
this.
Look out.
All right, what's Vicious gonna do? What's Vicious
Ooh.
gonna do? Oh, Penetration got bumped hard. Was that Scapegoat that did that? Out onto the infield.
These are the moments where I really do not envy the refs at all, because that was a lead overtake, but then bumped out of on the inner. But ultimately looks like cleared it up and did manage to secure that lead change for LADD. Savish is now getting stuck behind Bucket.
As Penetration comes around for some points here. Again, getting bumped out by Scapegoat onto the infield. Good defensive efforts there.
That was an exciting one. 10 points for LADD, 4 points for TXRD. Oh, and looks like we might have a timeout for LA, which means it is the perfect time to go ahead and talk about some of our sponsors. We've got Sidewalk Surfer. Sidewalk Surfer has a large selection of roller skates and skate accessories. They build, get this, custom skates and service all brands of skates. They're open from 10 to 8 Monday to Saturday and 10 to 6 on Sundays. And they're located at 2602 North Scottsdale Road in Scottsdale. We so appreciate their sponsorship.
Also like to mention that again today and all weekend we're going to be doing the shout outs for your favorite player. So if you want to go on to ArizonaDerbyDames.com, go to the tickets page, you can actually go ahead and send a little shout out to your favorite player, which we will go ahead and read on the mic here. So give some people some love. We had a lot of fun with those yesterday. So if you're here in the arena, if you're outside the arena, if you're outside the state, give your players some love. Also, go check out our vendor village. We have got a lot of really great vendors down there. We've got Raven Sweet Haven, we've got Siphon Draw Apothecary, we've got Raya Riot, and from what I understand, Raya Riot is going to be doing tattoos again on site. So please check it out. I saw some of the flash that's over there. It's super cute. There's amazing roller skate designs. So give them a check out as well. And we are back. We've got Danny Darko for Texas, and let's see, Slam and Amazon for LA for this jam. And both jammers kind of stuck there in the pack a little bit. Let's see who comes out victorious as lead. And that would be Slammin' Amazon for LA.
Ooh, but it looks like TXRD also now out of the pack.
Amazon coming in to hopefully get some points, but ends up sliding into home there and calls off the jam as Vicious was coming up really, really closely. Or I'm sorry, that wasn't Vicious, was it?
Ooh, we got a battle of the sixes over here. That's Sheet of Day jamming for LA.
And for Texas, we've got 616 Grape Goat.
Looks like we got one in the box for LA. Yes. Oh, we got two in the box for LA. Looks like we've got a that's a directional and I want to say that's a low block. So TXRD has a pretty significant 4-2 pack advantage here. And Scapegoat is making the most of it, breaking out of the pack right away, nice and early. And finding that upper lane pretty unoccupied there, picking up 5 points nice and quick. Oh, you know what? This is a power jam. I'm sorry. I was looking at the actual penalties. I wasn't looking at who the penalties are on. This is a TXRD power jam because Sheet Devil Egg is actually in the box. Coming back around, Scapegoat is fighting up against that wall at the end there and comes out successful. And there we have it. That was a nice little penalty jam there. $10 points for TXRD on that last one. Bringing the score to 65-24 LA. We've got Sid Vicious jamming for TXRD out there.
And Jane Woe for LA. And this should be our last jam before the half, yes? And Jane Woe is out as lead for LA. Vicious is back tumbling around with an LA player there. Looks like Bucket.
Oh, breaking through without even really slowing down, making it look easy. Very nicely done. Oh, it looks like we had a star pass on TXRD.
You know what? I have to say, I don't know if it's just me. Texas is really stealthy at these star passes because they were doing them yesterday and I wasn't even noticing until it was like right in front of me.
Yeah,
so
they're quick with it. That was a star pass.
They're like the ninja star passes.
Yes, yeah.
Sometimes I can see them. Sometimes they're telegraphed
Sometimes
a little
not so
bit
much,
more.
yeah. And that is halftime. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Go ahead and get up, stretch your legs. If you're in-house, go ahead and check out that vendor village. Pick up some merch for yourself. If you're at home, I don't know, go get a drink. And we'll be back here in just a couple minutes. just about ready to get back in it for game 2 of day 2 of Battle on the Bank. We kind of hopped into this one pretty quickly because it was a little chaotic in the beginning. But my name is What You Say, Jay. I've got Suki with me up here. Not right this very moment because she went to go check on something. Got to find out what's for lunch today. And once we find that out, we will let you know. But that's who I've got announcing with me today. All right, looks like we're getting ready to go. That is Danny Darko jamming for TXRD. And that's Alpaca Punch jamming for LADD. Looks like we're starting off with nobody in the box. You love to see it. Danny Darko trying to find that upper almost all the way through, but LADD reforming in front very nicely. Ooh, and giving Alpaca Punch the opportunity to rush on past and pick up lead. That was very nicely played. Alpaca Punch coming back around, ready to start picking up some points. And just pushing right on through. That is strength. 5 points on the board, I believe. Oh, it looks like Danny Darko now also out of the pack. Going to be putting the heat on a little bit, but we do have less than 10 seconds left in this jam, so I don't know how much heat. And that's the jam. Looks like 9 points on that last one for LADD. Bringing the score to 83-24 LA. And it looks like we have, yes, Danny Darko's in the box, which is, this is a power jam for LA. And that is She Doubled Egg who's going to be taking this power jam right now.
First power jam of the bout.
No, we did have one other that you and I simply missed. Yeah, we really
So it's
we woofed it on that one, but you know what? Everyone gets a mulligan, and we took ours real early in the day.
We did. It's okay. We're just going to keep saying tournament.
We've got an egg chant in the house coming from the bench.
Apparently, they're an excellent player.
Okay, well, I'm going to head out.
I had to do it.
I know, it's all right. I got to say, egg is such a fun thing to chant. And egg takes the enthusiasm, the momentum behind that chant, and applies it right away. Breaks out in I think less than 5 seconds.
Looks like Texas is trying to build a little bit of a wall there towards the front of the pack to keep egg back.
Ooh, very nice work. That pivot there, just doing some beautiful O for egg in the front.
Anytime you can slow the jammer down in a power jam is a good thing.
Yeah.
Even if it's for a second or two.
Yeah.
Just try to drain that clock a little bit.
Every little second counts. And they did manage to, there we go, just even just breaking that momentum is huge. And it looks like they have managed to catch egg just at least a little bit in the front here. It's actually pretty successful, if we're being totally honest.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's Sid Vicious working that low.
And Ambitious. And looks like Agrobat was also part of that 3-wall there.
Yeah.
So good job on that one.
An egg breaks out, but they managed to slow it down to such a degree that, yes, that is the end of the natural end of the jam.
Nice Texas defense on that one. That's tough. Power jams are really hard.
Yeah, that was nice.
If you get a jammer that just comes in there and slides right through, that's damage. That's damage on the scoreboard.
All right, what do we got here? That's Hanna-Barbarian jamming for LA. And
it looks like, let's see, this is Hello Nurse. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to say, hey, Nurse.
Okay.
There we go, right? Combining both names, yesterday and today.
Ooh, Hello Nurse coming through and calling it right off. Very nice. Looks like 4 points. Looks like 4 points for TXRD on that last jam. Bringing the score to 93-28 with about 11 minutes left in this game. We've got now Slammin' Amazon jamming for LA, and that is Agrobat jamming for TXRD. And Agrobat breaking out, picking up lead nice and quick. Ooh, but Slammin' Amazon now also out of the pack
All right,
and
a little
gaining.
jammer race right here.
Yeah.
Looks like the pack is pretty tight, though. It's going to be not easy for either of those jammers to kind of slip through.
Ooh.
Looks like Slammin' Amazon actually took in some points there and then just called that off.
4 points for LA and 2 points for TXRD on that last one. Now looks like we've got, that's Ambitious jamming for TXRD, and that's Valley Hurl jamming for LA. Looks like an empty box. Oh, I just heard a false start warning.
I don't know. Looks like there's some writing going on.
Yeah.
Not sure what's happening. Oh, there's
Aha.
something.
Yes, indeed. That looks like it's an illegal procedure for a false start on LA. So, in fact, not an empty box. We got one in the box for LA. But other than that, everybody's out there on the field, track, whatever.
Oh, it looked like Ambitious was going to get out there for a second and then unfortunately took a tumble into the infield. But Valley Hurl's towards the back of the pack there. So we're just seeing what their progress is. And it looks like Hurl is out.
Very nice.
Ambitious working their way against the back of the pack there. Hurl coming up for some points.
Ooh.
Tumbling.
Oh, looks like we have a star pass for TXRD.
Of course
to
we do.
Hello Nurse.
Of course we do. And of course
Yeah.
I missed it.
Coming around the mountain, ready to put some heat on LA, force that call off. And there you have it. 4 points for LA on that last jam. We've now got Agrobat back on the jam line for TXRD.
And that looks like Jane Woe for LA.
Looks like we got one in the box for I believe that's Egg. We got an Egg in the box for LA on, I think that's a directional. And J
All
Ro
right,
breaks
looks
out.
like-
Ooh,
yeah.
both jammers
All
break out.
right,
Nice
look at
and early,
this.
Just about 10, 15
We've had some really nice little jammer races happening in this bout.
Bum, ba-da-dum, 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 ba.
Oh, Jane Woe goes down though.
Ooh. All right, and that is Hello Nurse back on the jam line for TXRD, and Alpaca Punch jamming for LA. Oh,
But first,
ooh, we got a challenge coming from TXRD. We will hopefully get a little bit of information from the refs once we figure this out. But again, I keep saying this, but I generally tend to assume that anybody who's spending their free time at home watching Derby on a weekend probably knows how the rules work.
probably.
But I've been approached by, I cannot tell you how many moms who have come up to me and said, my kid has been playing this for years, and I did not understand it until you started explaining it. So I do like to, we got to announce for the lowest common denominator, knowledge-wise. So a challenge is exactly what it sounds like it is. Each team gets one per, in a full game they would get one per half. I believe they get one per game on these abbreviated
Yeah, it's just
games.
one for these half games.
Yeah, so the way this works is if a team looks at something that just happened and they say there was a call and they say, nuh-uh, we don't think that call should have happened, or if they think that they see that there was some kind of something that they think should have had a call, they can go ahead and throw up that challenge, or also it's also referred to as an official review. And so when they call that, then both teams will send their little rules lawyers down to the infield, and they'll have a little chat with the refs. We got a little sort of a crime drama, a legal procedure drama that goes on in the center of the field. And then if the team that called the challenge, if the refs convene and they decide, you know what, our bad, you were absolutely right, then they get to keep that challenge. They retain it. They can use it again one more time in that game. If they lose, if the refs get together and they go, nuh-uh, we were right and you were wrong, then they lose that challenge. They do not retain it. They cannot use it again. So we're going to see if we find out what's going on here. All right, we just got to get a little bit of information on that challenge. TXRD had received a false start illegal procedure penalty, and they were challenging it. The refs got together and they said, you know what? You were absolutely right. And so the penalty was overturned, and TXRD will retain their challenge.
So in this case, challenge well spent.
Yes, challenge accepted, if you will.
Yes.
All right, that is Hello Nurse and Alpaca Punch on the jam line. Score is 104-30 with 8 minutes left in this game. Hello Nurse almost all the way to the front. That pack is getting awfully spread out.
Alpaca Punch is coming up right behind, though.
Ooh.
Another nice jammer race. Yes, let's get it.
Coming to get ya. And Hello Nurse is going to go ahead and call it off before they lose.
Nurse is like, nah, we're good.
Yeah, you know what? Let's cut our losses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about strategy.
Yes. All right, that is Egg and Scapegoat on the jam line. Looks like nobody in the box.
Poised and ready for the whistle. And off they
And
go.
Off we go.
Egg going high. Scapegoat going low. Switching positions, and Egg is out as lead jammer for LA. Scapegoat's in the back there, pushing their way through. And they are also out of the pack.
Egg now reapproaching, ready to start picking up some points here, but TXRD is ready for him.
And Egg decides to call that off before Scapegoat has a chance to make it to scoring position.
That was nicely played defensively by TXRD. Oh, and now we just got a regular old timeout for TXRD. So let's go ahead and see what we got going on.
Let's talk about the food truck really quick.
Let's
talk about the food truck.
Because
Because I had to go out there and ask them how they said their name. So it is Pacenza.
Ooh.
Yes, and you might be able to deduce by the name of the food truck it's Italian, and Refi is nodding at me saying delicious and good, all of the wonderful adjectives. So go check them out. I saw shrimp on there. I saw some chicken parmesan on there.
Oh my God.
So go check it out. That is Pacenza.
Oh my God, that sounds so good. Okay, only just under 7 minutes left of this half before I can go get Italian food. Okay. At least I think so. I don't remember if I'm announcing the next game. Please God, let there be Italian food in my very near future.
Also, really quickly, let's see. Oh, raffle prizes. We need to talk about raffle prizes because that's going on. So we've got Siphon Draw Apothecary Skincare Box. We've got Switchblade Salon Haircut, Tucci Touch Massage. We also have silent auction items. So go buy your raffle tickets and bid on the silent auction items at the front. All of that's available there. Silent auction will be called tomorrow. No need to be present to win the silent auction items. And raffle tickets are available as well. So check that out. And right now, we've got Tony Montana for Texas. And we've got Hannah Barbarian for LA. Hannah Barbarian is out and on their way to scoring. Tony Montana is at the back of the pack. They're looking for a way to slip through, enlisting the help of some of their teammates there, while Barbarian managed to slide on through for a scoring pass. Little bit of jostling and tumbling here.
Oh, it looks Star Pass.
Looks like that.
Star Pass for
Star Pass.
TXRD.
Star Pass.
That is a Star
Ninja
Pass
Star
to
Pass.
Mixed Mayhem.
Love that.
Very nicely done. We've got Randy Reckless in the chat saying, TXRG just needs a couple 70-point jams. Just a couple quick 70-point jams, and then we'll be good to go. I think that's a reasonable request. All right, that is Sid Vicious. Oh, well, perhaps not. Looks like we maybe have a power jam for LA.
Possibly, because that looks like maybe Tony Montana is sitting in the box there.
Yes,
Yeah,
I believe.
so that's an LA power jam. Who's excited about an LA power jam? There we go. There we go. And it looks like, hold that thought.
Skaters exit the track. And it is an official timeout. Let's see who else we got hanging out in the chat. We got people from both sides, which is always fun. Trouble Club says they've called upon the Derby deities to get as many of those those power jams in there. They're lighting, the chat's lighting a candle and manifesting power jams for TXRD. As long as that candle is at home and not here, because it is really hot.
And just a quick reminder to go ahead and shout out your favorite player. Go to the ArizonaDerbyDames.com website, go to tickets. Just for a few bucks, you can get an announcement done on the mic by one of us for your favorite player. And it looks like we've got Jane Woe and Sid Vicious on the line for both LA and Texas. Jane Woe is already out, so coming around for some scoring points there. Sid Vicious is in the back, working their way through the pack and does make it out as well.
Yes, now both out. Sid Vicious has got a little bit of space to make up here. Definitely plenty of time there for LA, but they're going to go ahead and play it safe, call it off nice and early. Looks like 4 points for LA on that last one, bringing the score to 118-30.
And we've got less than 5 minutes left to go in this bout. And let's see, we've got Danny Darko. Looks like LA is getting a personnel change, perhaps. Or perhaps, is this a Texas power jam? You were talking about lighting that candle in manifestation. Maybe this is the result there. It looks like it, yeah.
Chat is simply
all
too
right,
powerful.
So let's hear it for Texas and their power jam.
The candles are working.
I think so. Keep them burning.
But LA is doing their darndest to shut
They
this
are.
down.
That's what Chance the Lapper back there. Who else is back there blocking? Valley Hurl.
Just a whole mess of blockers in there.
Yes.
But does not stop
Danny
from breaking on out, and still with just about half of this jam left. Definitely plenty of time to pick up at least a couple points. Danny
that's a major wall of LA, though. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a lot of folks.
Yeah, Danny's doing their best to kind of dance around the coping there a little bit, kind of going to the high now, breaking up. Texas doing a good job at breaking up that wall, though, because it's not nearly as formidable as it was a second ago.
Yeah. And that is the jam, but I definitely saw at least a couple points.
Yeah, that yielded something.
Oh, in fact, the whole Cinco de Ringo.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard that. I love it.
All right, that is penetration.
We've got we've got something on this side too. So we got an LA power jam.
Oh no.
And it
The
looks like
candles
penetration.
backfired.
Yes, exactly. Somebody's burning them in LA now.
Yeah.
So we've got competing manifestation happening right now.
We're in a drought. Everybody extinguish everything. All right, yeah, it looks like we got a couple of... Oh, somebody's ejected, looks like. Oh, boy.
Oh, dear.
Oof.
Unfortunately, that's easy to do. You only get 4 penalties in these half games.
Yeah, these half games, yeah, it's they're not as forgiving.
Penetration.
Ooh, penetration.
Met the wrong end of
tumble.
appendage of some Texas player back there. But they're up and out, so they're going. Kind of a slow-moving pack here. Everybody's bunched up together and make it a little bit more difficult for Penetration to get through. Ooh, takes another one. My goodness. Penetration may need some ibuprofen.
This is messy.
A little bit.
Penetration really just looking for a little bit of daylight, but TXRD does not want to.
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies there, just all bunched up together.
Oof.
I don't know. I'm always of the opinion that those slow-moving packs are the most difficult.
Yeah, I do not envy Penny right now.
Because you're just like running into something that's kind of stopped. So.
Let's see, what was the final count on that? Looks like 5 points for Penetration on the last one, bringing the score to 123-35 with just under 2 minutes left in this game.
And we've got Scapegoat for Texas. And that looks like Alpaca Punch for LA. A little bit of jostling, a little bit of talking, a little bit of jawing there in the pack. Both jammers are off to the races. Scapegoat is out first for Texas. But it looks like, oh, there you go. Alpaca Punch got a little bit of a whip there from, can't see the name. We'll get it here in a second. That was Sheezus who gave that little bit of a whip. Those are always fun to watch. And Scapegoat calls it off.
We are getting down to the wire here. And who do we got here? That is Tony Montana jamming for TXRD and Valley Hurl jamming for LADD. Looks like we got one in the box. One in the box for TXRD on a cut penalty. And off we go. Valley Hurl finding that lane, picking up lead right away. Very nicely done.
Yeah, Tony Montana is struggling a little bit towards the back there, but is kind of working their way along the coping, along the infield there. So let's see what happens. Tony Montana does make it out of the pack as Valley Hurl's coming around on their scoring pass. Valley Hurl coming up on Montana, checking things out, and gives that stop.
Four points for LA on that last one. We got Scapegoat jamming for TXRD, and that is Hannah Barbarian jamming for LA. We got one in the box for LA. Looks like Jezzahel's in the box on an arms penalty. And off they go. Scapegoat just about out, getting stuck behind that LA pivot. But not for long, picking up lead for TXRD.
Oh yeah, we got both jammers out of the pack now.
However, Hannah Barbarian now also out and putting on the heat.
Hot pursuit, Hannah Barbarian. Scapegoat shouting instructions to their teammate and calls it off. Looks like, I don't know, maybe Hannah Barbarian got a point there, I'm not sure. Looked really close, really, really close.
3 points for TXRD on that last one.
Okay, and it looks like Barbarian did get that point for LA.
Looks like you got one in the box.
Those seats are just gonna be warm today.
Yeah.
Just everybody in and out.
Directional on one of TXRD's blockers. On Hey Hey. On Hello Nurse.
Hey, hey, nurse.
On Hey Hey Nurse. Oh, and that is the game.
All right.
Our final score is 128 LA, 38 TXRD. Give it up for both of these teams.
Absolutely. Congratulations to both teams. Well played, fun to watch.
If you're in-house, go ahead and come on down to the track, get your high fives in. If you're at home, stick around. We've got another game coming up right quick. We have Tilted Thunder versus the Arizona Hotshots. That'll be coming up very shortly, so don't go anywhere. And we will be back here in just a few minutes.